Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smart ass than a dumbass. Because, guys, about 34 years ago, I was a dumbass. But today, 34 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smart ass. And yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey. And that's what I was. I'm saying all this to say this. Guys, listen. Everybody out there who needs help, I'm here to help you. All my services to you are free. I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm a recovery coach. I want everyone to know someone is listening. And if you think my book can help someone, because I do, you can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. My book is now on audio. Simon & Schuster wanted to do it with someone else's voice. I was like, absolutely not. My producer here, Ruben Rodriguez, part owner of Hamilton Radio and owner of Iron Horse Films, is now doing audiobooks with your voice. So if any authors are interested, please reach out. And guys, listen, if you truly, truly, truly cannot afford my book, please reach out to me about that as well. I'm here to help you. Before I introduce my really cool guest, I just want to give a shout out to a couple of my sponsors today. First, we have John Bishop, a.k.a. Johnny B., singer-songwriter, host of the Entertainment Luncheon South, a nonprofit network created for the creative. He's also partner in the Joey D and Johnny B Rockin' Oldies band, and he's also solo. But a huge shout out to him and his wife Linny for putting on this luncheon once a month. It's by invite only, $20. You get a great lunch and incredible entertainment. And they don't keep a penny of it, guys. And they promote all of us like nobody else does. My newest sponsor, Robert Sweeney. Explore powerful stories of love, loss, and legacy through my music and videos on YouTube and Spotify. Let's bring these emotional and thought-provoking tales of life. So Robert Sweeney is a retired United States Air Force guy. He's also a one-man band, guitar player, writer, producer, and AI digital creator. He made an incredible theme song for me that we're going to be playing at the end of the show, and it's all AI done. It's so cool. And he also did something with a Jersey Devils song that they're hoping to get into a movie. So very, very cool. So those are the two sponsors I'm gonna speak about now. And I have a really cool guest. I'm gonna introduce him. Howard Levinson. Say hello.
Hello, everybody.
I can't hear you. Hold on. Now say hello, Howard.
Hello. Hello, everybody. That better?
It's a lot better. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you, Jerry? How's
Good.
you?
Everything is good. So, you have like a long list of things that you've done in your life. I mean, you're a retired officer, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You're an author,
Right.
paramedic,
Right.
chiropractor,
Yep.
singer-songwriter.
Yep.
What else?
Well, I'm doing some cattle ranching now.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Got into some cattle ranching here. I've got a small farm, raising some cattle. So that's the latest adventure.
So tell everyone where you live now.
I live outside of a small town in middle Missouri called Williamsburg, Missouri. I'm from St. Louis, which is on the east side of the state, and we're about We're about 75 miles east of St. Louis, straight across the middle of the state in rural Missouri.
Do you talk about your age?
We can.
Okay, how old are you? I'm asking for a reason.
Oh, I'm 72.
Okay, first of all, that's incredible, and I love your hair. Okay, so I'm one of those old hippies, you know. I'll be
Yeah.
65, and I say that for a reason because I always say I was born too late. Like I love oldies, doo-wop, and Elvis, but you can't take the rock out of me either. You can't take Led
Right.
Zeppelin, Foreigner. You know, you can't. It's impossible. Genesis, right? And your music
Right.
is amazing, and I still love the long hair. I just love it.
Well, I had to look respectable for most of my life, in public service as a cop or a medic
I
or
saw the photos.
chiropractor.
Yep.
Yeah. So, when I retired, I said, what the hell?
That's right. What the hell? And that's one of your songs, right?
Oh, I got a song called What the Hell is Happening? Yeah.
I love it. So, all right, I have a few questions for you about your personal life because I just think everything you've done is just unbelievable. So, I understand the police officer and the paramedics. I understand that.
Right.
Then chiropractic?
Well, I had, being a paramedic, I was working in a hospital on an ambulance and in an ER. And, I got to the point to where it was like, well, what do I want to do? I want to go on, be a nurse, be a doctor. I couldn't go to medical school because I was like, had kids and stuff, and I was older. And so, chiropractic was an internationally known school in St. Louis that taught chiropractic, Logan College. It was close and it was convenient, and I passed all the requirements to get in, and so I went in and I worked as a cop and went to school during the day, and mostly worked night shift. So it was pretty tough getting through the whole thing, but I got through it. And then when I graduated, I set up a small office. I remained a cop, and for almost the entire time, I was a full-time cop and a part-time chiropractor. A couple of years, I tried being a chiropractor full-time, but I still had the cop bug, so I had to go back to it. So.
That's so cool. I mean, I was married to a chiropractor, and I have very good friends. Actually, I have the retired chief of police gold card from Robbinsville, New Jersey. So I'm friends with all the cops. Yes. All right. So now, music. All right. How old were you when you were a cop?
Well, it started in my late 20s and
Okay.
ended in my late 50s, something like
Okay.
that.
And how old were you when you were a chiropractor?
About the same,
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
concurrent, pretty
Okay.
much.
So now, music. Has it always been in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing guitar since I was like 14 or 15,
Okay.
in bands, when you're a kid in bands and stuff, playing school events and things. And I think I wrote my first song when I was probably 16 or something like that. And, I played in almost any genre aside from disco. I played in a band doing something, from rock to punk rock to glitter rock to hard rock to country rock. And now I'm pretty much primarily country right now genre. Yeah.
Did you ever do hip hop?
You know, I hate to say this, but
Say
I
it.
wrote one. I can't. I'm not a big fan of hip hop, although you gotta really give these guys credit for being able to do what they do. I'm just not a big fan of the style. But in any event, I did write kind of like a rap hip hop song that was pertinent to the times when Michael Brown got shot, and that happened in St. Louis, not too far from where we lived. And so I wrote something about that,
Okay.
turned it into kind of a rap song video, put it on YouTube, and they immediately canceled it and said it was, had too many suggestive tones of violence and things like that. Because it was all about, the ghetto.
So wait, they canceled yours, but if you go out there and see all that's out there now, that's okay?
Yeah, I mean that's how YouTube is sometimes.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
sometimes they take a political bend.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So now you play just the guitar
And harmonica.
and harmonica. Did you
Yeah.
take lessons?
Yeah, I took lessons when I was a kid from a guy up the street. I learned a few chords, and then I've been off on my own ever since.
Okay, and what about singing lessons?
No, that's probably why I'm not the greatest singer in the world, you know.
So funny. Okay, so now let's play one of your songs and then we'll have you talk about it.
Okay.
Here we go.
I like to drink a few beers with a whiskey back. Like to smoke those funny cigarettes. I'll even take a few pills to be happy, you see. Everything I like is killing me. I like to put a pinch between my cheek and gum and smoke a fat cigar when the day is done. The warning labels on the stuff is plain to see. Everything I like is killing me. I probably won't live to a ripe old age. They say I'll put myself in an early grave. I doubt if I'll make it to my 40s, 'cause everything I like is killing me. I like steak and eggs with a side of fries. I top it off with a piece of pecan pie. I love the kick from a glass of Georgia sweet tea. Everything I like is killing me. I love to play poker and a little blackjack. Lost my house and my Cadillac. I put my last dollar on a losing team. Everything I like is killing me. I probably won't live to a ripe old age. They say I'll put myself in an early grave. I doubt if I'll make it to my 40s, 'cause everything I like is killing me. I ride my Harley all over the place. I like the wind blowing in my hair and in my face. Crashed and woke up in emergency. Everything I like is killing me. My best girl, she's a roller derby queen. When she's had a few, she gets kinda mean. She broke my tooth and bruised my spleen. Everything I like is killing me. Well, there's one thing that I know for sure. When I die and knock on heaven's door, St. Peter's gonna ask what happened to me. I tell him everything I like. Everything I liked. Everything I like will kill me. Yeah, kill me.
All right, so that's a beautiful song, man. Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, everybody's got some bad habits and vices, and I thought I'd write a song about them. And, you know, most everything that you really like may not be good for you. And so that was the theme of the song.
All right, so what bad vices do you have?
Not as many as I have had in the past. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, the older you get, you got to drop off some of the vices if you want to continue to stay above ground, you know?
Yes. So come on, what were some of your bad vices? I'm an open book. Look.
Well, yeah, I mean, I used to drink a little bit more than I should have.
Okay.
And as a cop, you know, I really didn't do drugs because that would,
Oh, okay.
that'd get you fired. So I couldn't do that, but I
Yeah.
threw it in there because everybody does. I did smoke cigar every now and then, you know, and to this day, I still ride a Harley. Um, but I do not have a girlfriend who's a roller queen. I have not been beat up by my girlfriend.
So how many kids do you have?
5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now, do any of them sing, write music, play any instruments?
No, nobody picked up any instruments. I guess they just figured, well, that's one of those vices Dad has. we better not take up that one, you know. So they all have their other things.
So about how many songs have you written?
Oh, probably 40, maybe 50,
Okay, how many have you recorded?
probably 20, maybe something like
Okay,
that.
get your butt going, man. Record them all.
Yeah, some of them are just, scratches and need to be finished. You know, how everybody's got, if you're an author, you know how you'll start stuff and you'll put it down, come back to it later, and I've got a bunch of that stuff.
So, all right, so now, all right, so I have a question about your songwriting.
Yeah.
So, the majority of it, is it personal or is it just a mixture of everything?
I think it's a mixture. In writing, you write what you know,
Okay.
so some of the songs that I've written have been pretty contemplative, reflective type things, where it's really, maybe a catharsis of some kind. Like I wrote a song called Still Small Voice. I don't know if you've picked up that one, but that's a verse from the Old Testament. And basically, the theme of that song is kind of stop and smell the roses, which I really didn't do much of. But when I got older, it's like, yeah, you need to stop and smell the roses and stuff. So that was one. And that, I'll get an idea from about a song anywhere. Like one of the songs I wrote, "Now That You're Gone, I'm Going to Town." It's a song from a girl's perspective, and so it was taken from. I was up in Sturgis, South Dakota, at a bonfire, and I was talking to this old gal, and she said her husband had died, but she said, it's funny. Once he died, I was able to get off my blood pressure medication. She was an older gal about my age, anyway.
Oh,
So,
really
so,
old. Okay, go
so,
ahead.
so this is maybe a few years ago, and then she said, not only that, now that he's gone, I've been going to town, and so I said, man, that now that you're gone, I'm going to town sounds like a hook line for a song, especially a country song. So on my way home from Sturgis, there's a bunch of us guys on motorcycles. We'd stop and get a beer, some gas or something. I'd write a little lyric down. By the time I got back to Missouri, about had the song done, and finished it up. Went to Nashville. It was a girl song, so I had a girl record it. Had a girl singer record it, and we put it out there. Try to move it off to some girl singers like Tanya Tucker, Martina McBride, Gretchen Wilson, but we never did get any bites on it. But I still play it live on my gigs, but I just make it a third person song. Now that he's gone, she's going to town. So I can sing it.
I love that. And good for her. Good for her.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so now, all right, well, let me ask you this. When you were growing up and in school, who were some of your musical influences?
Well, back in the day, it was the big English invasion, with the Beatles and the Animals and the Kinks, all those guys. And then, of course, back then I was into Chuck Berry, like Chuck Berry and Elvis, some of Elvis's
Heck
stuff.
yeah, baby.
All that stuff. And, as I got older, I got into a little bit, more, the hard rock stuff. And you guys are up on the East Coast. I was a big fan of Lou Reed.
Okay.
Big Lou Reed fan. I played in a kind of a Stooges, Iggy and the Stooges type band where I was kind of the Iggy guy. We did a lot of hard rock stuff like that. And then over the years, I just picked up different tidbits of a genre that I liked and mellowed out some, Eagles, New Riders of the Purple Sage, Poco, like all those guys, Grateful Dead, like all that kind of stuff over the years.
That's pretty cool. Like I said before, I love oldies, doo-wop, Elvis, but you can't take all that rock out of me. I think Foreigner was my very first concert. I was 17.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I just love it all. I want to share a story with you about, we were talking about hip hop and rap and all that. So I don't like it because there's a lot of violence in it and a lot of cursing and all that. I don't like it. If I heard some hip hop, which I have, with none of that, like I heard some Christian hip hop, I loved it. So I do love the style. I
Yeah,
just don't like.
I'm with you on that.
Okay, all the rest. Well, In 2016 or 17, a young African-American hip-hop artist from Trenton, New Jersey, Randy Shank, reached out to me on Facebook and said, Miss Geri, I'm up and coming. Please, can I have an interview? I'll come live in studio. I said, young man, can you keep it clean? He said, absolutely. So he brought in a few of his friends. They not only kept it clean, they were amazing. This young man now lives down south. He has a family. He's not only an artist, he's a photographer. What he's doing is unbelievable. And he goes by SIX director. But I asked him live on air, I said, why is there so much profanity and violence? And he said, Miss Geri, everyone has a story to tell, and it needs to be told, and unfortunately for some of us, this is the only story we know. And it made me get it, at least. You know what I mean? I didn't judge it anymore, and I don't listen to that, but at least I understood it. And now he'll message me every once in a while and say, Miss Geri, I'm trying to keep it clean for you. And he's even like came into town to visit and surprised me. He's doing amazing. So, yeah. So, you know, I actually love, like I said, the Christian hip hop and rap, and I love the way they do it and the sound, because as a poet, I'm a poet. You know, I just love all that. But I just wish it could be cleaner. So let's play another one of your songs, and then we'll have you talk about it.
All right.
We have two more, Gino?
We have two more.
Okay.
You could say he lived a full life, a lot of years and a couple of wives, 5 kids, 2 who will carry his name. Too much time living in bars, whiskey and smoke and playing guitar. Stories written on his arms in ink and scars. It ain't about what you got, what you are, or what you're not, or if the spotlight ever shines upon your face. It's about joy and love, family and friends, and the man above. You'll just make that choice, you'll hear that still small voice. In a hurry to get somewhere, in a place other than just right here, when all he had to do was come on home. Life lessons don't come too quick. At 100 miles an hour the clock still ticks. He never found peace in a bottle or the bank. It ain't about what you got, what you are, or what you're not, or if the spotlight ever shines upon your face. It's about joy and love, family and friends, and the man above. You'll just make that choice, you'll hear that still small voice. Chasing his dreams, life passed him by. Babies grew and mama died. Missed the best parts in the blink of an eye. A lot like him, I just wouldn't hear. Took me over 40 years. Finally turned from the noise and heard that voice. The still small voice. It ain't about what you got, what you are, or what you're not, or if the spotlight ever shines upon your face. It's about joy and love, family and friends, and the man above. You'll just make that choice, you'll hear that still small voice. If you just make the
So no worries, Howard. Howard only hears the vocals, not the music. But out there, they hear everything. So,
Yeah, I'm glad you played that song.
Yeah.
I just talked about it.
so okay, beautiful song. Absolutely beautiful song.
Thank you. It's fun.
So, what's your favorite song you've ever written?
You know, I mean, as far as like quirky little songs, it would be a little number I wrote called Trucks, Guns, Girls, Money, and Beer. And if I have to talk, and I have to say, that song you just played is probably, I had thought it was the best song I'd ever written. You know, just because and it's so personal to me, you know,
Tell everyone the
was kind
title again.
that one,
Yep.
Still Small Voice.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I really, you know, it was a very personal song to me, and that's why I really like it. And, you know, we recorded that in Nashville, and the studio musicians did a great job on it. And it was really a wonderful experience. But a quirky little funny song, you know, I'm going to go with Trucks, Guns, Girls, Money, and Beer, you know, because that's kind of a funny song. It's bilingual. I sing a verse in Spanish too, you know.
So wait, the entire title is that?
Trucks, Guns, Girls, Money, and Beer. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, okay. So I guess that explains it all.
Well, you know, it's kind of like I was thinking about, you know, in The Sound of Music, you know, they're talking about all my favorite things, when the dog bites, when the, you know, and I was thinking, what are some of my favorite things? Well, I like trucks, I like guns, I like girls, I like money, I like beer. So I just write me a song about those things.
That's funny. That's really funny. So, all right. So you're now on a ranch, you said.
Yeah, small farm, yeah.
Okay. You have cattle.
We have some cattle. Yep.
Okay. What else?
2 dogs, 3 cats.
So how do you like it?
You know, it's we moved out. We moved from St. Louis when we retired in 2019. I think we moved out here, or 20. And you know, it was a retirement gig, but you know, one of my kids lives out this way too, and he followed in my footsteps. He's in law enforcement, but he's always wanted to run some cattle. So we said, well, let's get a few head of cattle, and you know, let's do that for a little while. And it's a nice break. I mean, because you know, you can only sit and fish and sit around and do not a whole lot. So we got these cattle, and then after several years have gone by, we've gone from a few to now we've got 21, and you know, we're going to be getting some more ground so we can increase the herd. And we got baby cows. They're really cute. So anyway, it's...
Okay,
it's
so
an
I have to ask. All right, so do you slaughter them for food?
We have not. Since we just started, we're just building the herd. We haven't yet.
What do you
But
do with them?
Well, we're just raising them right now, and we will sell them at the beef auction. We'll
Okay,
sell
okay.
them. Yeah, they'll go off to somebody's market. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Because I'm saying, what do you just hug them? Sing to
Well,
them?
we're bottle feeding one because his mother got sick, so
Oh, that's so
every
cute.
twice a day we got to go out with a bottle and feed them. But you know
Oh my
they're
gosh.
fun.
All right, so there you have it. Do you give it someone else's cow's milk?
We can. Yeah, there's somebody up here that sells direct cow's milk. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. You're the weirdest retired officer I've ever met. Okay, I just have to say, in a cool
Yeah.
way, in a very cool way.
Well, thank you. You know,
Okay.
you don't slow down. You just keep going. You know.
Right, and all the different things you're experimenting with in life. Wow, very cool. Okay.
I'm pretty busy. I'm pretty busy gigging too. I mean, I play quite a few shows every month, so I'm busy gigging, hitting bars and restaurants, places around wineries around Missouri.
Oh, okay. Do you have other members in your band, or is it just you?
Well, I play a lot of solo shows, but I have been playing with a couple guys out of the St. Louis area for several years, and so, you know, they'll book gigs in St. Louis, and I'll go in town and we'll play some gigs in St. Louis, and then I'll book some out here in Middle Missouri, and they'll come out here and we'll do a band gig. But most of I'd say, you know, 75% of my work are solo gigs, just
Okay.
me.
That's pretty cool. Okay. It's very cool. So let's play your third song, and then we'll have you talk about that one.
I really
All
like
right.
this one.
I know you do, Doc G.
All right. Here we go. I got a crazy life, I got a trophy wife, money for guns, girls and liquor. I've even got a stash put away for bail. Tell me how come I'm sitting in jail. I've been paying my bills, alimony, child support. I'm eating bologna. I've been a model citizen for half a year. Sitting in a cell, sure could use a beer. Well, it's a heads or tails, red or black. Aces and eights will get you shot in the back. It's all about luck, and I'm sorely lacking, yeah. Makes you wonder what the hell is happening, yeah. Well, I did my stretch, got out of jail, went on home. House was for sale. The old lady left me without a note. She took the money and the kids. She took my bass boat. But it's a heads or tails, red or black. Aces and eights will get you shot in the back. It's all about luck, and I'm sorely lacking, yeah. Makes you wonder, makes you wonder, makes you wonder what the hell is happening.
You got my two crazy producers rocking out over there, okay? That was pretty cool. Tell us more about that song. Come on.
Well, I mean, we've discussed it. I'm a seasoned veteran of many things, and so, a lot of my friends are are also seasoned veterans, and that means many of us have been seasoned veterans of marriages and divorces and stuff like that, and so, I just wrote a song for all the guys that walked out of the courtroom or something and said, after their divorce paper or came through, they said, "What the hell? What the hell is happening?" So I wrote a song with that theme, and then, like I mentioned, I go to on motorcycle trips. I've been to Sturgis, South Dakota, big motorcycle rally every year. I've been there maybe 10 times. But there's a saloon number 10 in Deadwood, South Dakota, where Wild Bill Hickok was shot in the back of the head.
Okay.
And he was holding aces and eights. They called that the dead man's hand.
Yeah, I'm a poker player, so that's what we call it.
Yeah.
I'm actually a
ace.
dealer. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of a bad luck thing. So when you get screwed in a divorce, it's bad luck, and Wild Bill gets shot in the back of the head, it's bad luck. So the theme of the song is, what the hell, man? I got a little bad luck here. I used to have a trophy wife and all that stuff, and even my bass boat is gone,
So, do you know the whole story about why Wild Bill got shot at the poker table?
Well, he sat facing with his back to the door, which he doesn't normally do, and Jack McCall was just an idiot. So, I think
Okay.
it's a matter of bad luck.
Well, they say, and I don't know the truth, it's just rumors that fly around, especially in the poker world, that he beat aces with his eights. And that could not be true. It could be true. I don't really know. And that's why he got shot. But who knows?
Hmm. Yeah.
So,
Well,
got to really research that one again now.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, how could people get in touch with you if they want to hire you, get your music?
Well, I'm part of the musical stable of Big Records World. I don't know if you knew that, and of course, I think I learned about you through Caden Gordon.
Oh, Caden Gordon, that's right.
Yeah,
Love you,
did some good-
Caden. Amazing.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
good guy. But I've got a website, howardlevinson.net, and that has a contact form and all that stuff. And I'm on Facebook. Like my music page is Howard Levinson Music, but my personal page is Howard J. Levinson. But I post gigs and music and stuff like that at howardlevinson.net. So my website has updated where I'm going to be playing and a contact form, how to get hold of me, and it's got all the links to Spotify and iTunes where all my songs can be heard and things like that.
Very cool. So, I have a silly question for you about your songwriting. What is one of your worst favorite songs you've ever written?
Worst favorite songs. Let me think about that. Well, man, I've got one that I have been working on for years, and it's not my worst song in regards to like I don't like it. I just can't finish it because I just can't. My songwriting process is I'll start with a theme or a hook line or something, and it may take me a month or two to write it, because I'll do a couple versions, different chords, different lyrics, a bridge, a chorus, whatever. And finally, I'll get it to the point where I really like it, and then I'll be done with it, and I'll go to the studio and record it. I've been writing this song, and it's about, I got the idea from my mom, actually, who, when my sister and I had 2 kids in the family, my sister and I were kids, we never even knew my mom and dad had previous marriages.
Oh.
And my mom had lost her husband in the war. He had gotten killed, and she didn't even tell us until we were adults. And so I wrote a song along that theme to where it's going to be sung. My idea is it's sung by a girl. It's a girl helping her mom pack up her mom because her dad died. They're moving into a smaller apartment or something like that. And she finds a picture from the wedding of her mom's first marriage that she never knew anything about. And it's a guy in uniform, and who is this guy? Well, that's my first husband I never told you about. So it's just a hassle. I'll say that much, because I write new lyrics, I write new melody, and then I don't like it, I put it away, and I start over again. I guess it's because it's personal,
Right.
that
I
personal
think that's
aspect.
why. I think you
Yeah.
should get it out and finish it,
Yeah, I need to.
because it is. And that's why, because it's very personal.
Yeah.
Okay? So, I'm going to read a poem out of my book. And this poem I wrote is called Utilizing Gifts and Talents. And I read this because there are a lot of people out there questioning their self-worth and thinking they have nothing to offer. And I'm here to tell everybody you all have something to offer. Imagine what we would do without sanitation workers. Okay, think about that. To me, they're right up there. All right? So if anybody's questioning their self-worth, please listen to every single word of this poem. Utilizing gifts and talents. We are born with talents. We are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry, and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used. God's gift to us, not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them, to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. So don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened, then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, Howard Levinson, baby, will live forever, forever and a day. So go through life excited for what you sure can give to yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking
Wow.
dawn.
That's very nice. That's very nice.
So I want to thank you, first off, for honoring me today. This was a really cool interview. You have so many accolades. You're a hero also. And that's how I truly feel. And what you're doing as you're getting older, even with the cows and all that, it's just so cool. And don't cut your hair. Now, I'm going to give you the mic, and you have a few minutes, and I'd like you to share or say anything else. I don't want you to say, oh, I forgot I wanted to say this, to the listening audience, please.
Okay. Well, I do cut my hair once a year, and I donate it to the kids with cancer type thing.
Okay, then you can.
So I will have, kind of short hair at some point, so I will cut it. But anyway, so, I mean, as far as, closing thoughts, I've lived a pretty decently long life, and I did a lot of things because I just didn't feel I wanted to be stuck in one thing. Like a guy goes to high school and he gets a job and he keeps the same job for 40 years and he retires. And, I mean, that's a great life for some people. It could not be me. I just was like a shark. I was constantly moving to something else, And that's partially dysfunctional, but it really has led to just so many experiences that I would never have had, and so many interesting people that I've met, and so many lives that I intertwined with, either for the good or for the bad. Law enforcement, I intertwined with lives and didn't really make their lives very good, but on the victim side, we did make their lives well.
That's right.
So yeah, I don't have any regrets on what I've done. And this latest adventure in cattle ranching and playing music, those are my two passions right now. And I'm kind of hoping, Jerry, that's it. I'm kind of hoping that maybe this will be it. I'll just ride off in the sunset, writing songs, playing gigs, and raising cows.
There you go. So first of all, I have something to say to you about what you said about kind of being dysfunctional. No. Okay, we share similar things as far as what we've done with our lives. Okay, I drove my family crazy. Okay, my dad was from Italy, very, strong, working, hard man, the whole bit, My brother follows in his footsteps. Same job, 100 years. He's doing amazing. He's so generous to me and my kid and my grandchildren. I love my brother. The best brother ever. But I was the artist, the creative one, the crazy one. I had beauty salons, poker. I became a poker dealer. Okay? You have no idea. I'm a vegan chef. I mean, I do it all because I'm like you. And that's not dysfunctional. That's what man maybe has titled it. But that's not true. I think God honors people who follow their dreams and don't just get stuck in one thing. So no.
I agree with that. I'd like, I know we have free will and but I do believe that I've been following a path for a reason. And there were certain things that have happened in my medic career and in my police career that have just shown me that, man, I was here at this point in time for a particular reason, and this was it, Right. And so those are the moments that make it all worthwhile.
So when you get to heaven, God says, I had you do the cattle ranching now because you're going to have to take care of the cows in heaven. That's why, all right?
Okay, maybe so.
So
I'm going to ask I'm gonna ask him for some help though.
Okay? Thank you so much. So, we're going to close the show, guys, with my new theme song that Robert Sweeney wrote, AI created. It's really amazing. Okay, producer, take us out.
Thank you, Jerry.
Welcome to the stage where stories untold, candid moments captured, memories unfold. Gary's got the vibes, a soothing flow. Come sit back, relax, let the good times glow. Jazz in the air, let it take you away. Welcome to the Geri Petito Show, where every heartbeat and every note flow. Jazz melodies weaving through the night. Together we'll shine, everything feels right. Deep conversations where the heart finds a voice. Together we laugh, sometimes we rejoice. Tales of adventure, the rhythms embrace. In each note a journey, feel the space. Step into the light, let the music. Welcome to the Geri Petito Show, where every heartbeat and every note flow. Jazz melodies weaving through the night. Together we'll shine, everything feels right. So tune in now, let the magic start. Jerry's podcast, a place for your art.